Our case study is Scenes from the Electronic Sweatshop, based on the book by the same name by Barbara Garson. It discusses the use of information and communication technology, ICT for short, in two separate cases, the airline agent and the social worker. This video will outline both examples used in the case study. It will illustrate how ICT can enhance communication rather than replace communication. It will discuss automating and informating. It will provide possible solutions utilizing the two examples. And finally, it will discuss the future of ICT. We will begin with the automated airline agent. Information communication technology began being used in the airline industry in the late 1970s. Before this time, reservation agents were highly skilled employees who were difficult to replace. Computers redefined the work of the airline agents. A summary of the changes before and after the use of ICTs shows that agents transitioned from being valued to being easily replaced. An agent's wage was reduced from $15 per hour to $5.77 per hour following the use of ICTs. Why? ICTs could be programmed to retain the working knowledge of policies, fares, and destinations that made agents so crucial. Additionally, the high value on customer service was lost. Everything from the length of a call to the percentage of sales began to be tracked. The automated social worker is the second of the two examples. It discusses the negative consequences that occurred with the usage of ICTs in comparison to the traditional organization. In this example, New York State installed a computer system to keep track of its welfare system, a job that was thought impossible to automate as clients needed more hands-on assistance. The automation of this type of work places more value on quantity of work rather than quality of support each social worker can provide to clients. The production has increased, but the quality should be under scrutiny. There is need to assess the automation of social work to ensure that the spirit of social work remains intact. Knowledge work involves creating and applying knowledge, and is supported by information work. Information work is gathering, entering, formatting, and processing information. Information and communication technologies are computerized systems and advanced telecommunication systems. All of these systems enable organizations to operate much more rapidly and sometimes to adapt more quickly than they could if human communicators and traditional modes of communication, i.e. memos, letters, phone calls, made up the entire communication system. ICTs can be used to provide frontline employees with information that enables them to do their jobs better and with more flexibility. Computerized machine tools, when used effectively, allow workers to control their work while still becoming more efficient and responsive thanks to the addition of ICTs. Automating is defined as to convert an automatic operation. It is also the use of technology to downsize the need for human skill. It may also eliminate the need for human interaction. Informating is the process of translating data into information. The term was developed by Shoshana Zuboff in The Age of the Smart Machine in 1988. It occurs as a result of automation. There are some benefits to automating. First, automating provides increased efficiency. It removes workers that may be exposed to dangerous conditions. It relieves workers exposed to hard physical labor. And in the long term, it decreases overhead costs. However, there is a downside to automating. Automating can cause workers to lose jobs. There can be a loss of personal relationships with clients and customers. There may be high initial costs. There are developmental and maintenance costs. There are limitations on how much can be automated. And there are also potential security issues. There are benefits to informating as well. Informating allows organizations to easily share data internally. Information is more organized and easier to manage. There are a few disadvantages to informating that need to be considered. Informating is oppressive in nature and is used to monitor employees. It can create trust issues from employees, and informating opens data up for misinterpretation. ICTs were created to make companies work more efficiently within the bureaucratic framework. They made overseeing employees easier and less intrusive. They made it easier to adhere to rules and regulations, and they made complex systems easier to run. Automating uses machines and computers to take over work and replace employees, whereas informating uses information technology to enable employees to learn and to figure out which processes are effective. Informating is not using computers to de-skill employees. Now, we'll look at what went wrong in the scenarios and some recommendations for success. What went wrong in the airline reservation agent scenario? Automating took away the power the employees had to make changes and solve problems. It de-skilled employees to the point where they were unable to make necessary decisions based on customer needs. And agents focused on sales rather than on customer satisfaction. Some recommendations for success for automating the airline reservation agent. First, airlines should consider creating a reservation system that allows the agent more power to make changes and solve problems when necessary. Second, employees should be enabled to make decisions based on customer needs. Third, place less of a focus on how many sales are made and more on customer satisfaction. Finally, make sure that employees are notified of price and policy changes. What went wrong in the automated social worker scenario? Automation converted a human process into a mechanical process. It identified time limits for paperwork. Employees were paid just for the paperwork processed. Employees were penalized for doing the humanistic work necessary to build client trust and relationships. It enabled employees to shut down the whole system if they desired. Recommendations for success for automating the social worker position. Enable employees to do their job well by rewarding employees for handling cases in a timely manner. Rewarding employees for working closely with individuals they are helping. Don't give employees a poor performance review for working diligently and for helping clients. And give the employees more tools for solving problems when they arise. Information communication technology is here to stay and be monitored. In fact, the U.S. Census Bureau has required annual mandatory surveys for non-farm businesses to identify how much the business is spending on ICT since 2003. The most recent data indicates U.S. businesses are spending less on ICTs than before. The current data indicates a peak in 2008 totaling $296.3 billion. In 2009, the total spent was $253.8 billion, down 14%. The highest industry spender is consistently the information industry, followed at a distance by the finance and insurance industries, and is brought up in the rear by the transportation and warehousing industries. For more information on successful ICTs, please see the National Association of State Chief Information Officers. They annually recognize state projects and initiatives which exemplify best practices, support the public policy goals of state leaders, assist government officials in innovatively executing their duties, and provide cost-effective services to citizens. ICTs are in every level of society and likely in most organizations. ICTs may seem overwhelming and complex and perhaps are one of the niceties businesses are cutting out to stay afloat, but they are in one form or another here to stay.